Hello and welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton, and joining me on the podcast today is love maker, newsbreaker, Deven Rall. How are you, Deven?
I'm glad to be here. Do you like this flannel, by the way? It's new.
Don't mind it.
Well, it's starting to get colder, so kind of can break out the flannels and warmer clothing. It's kind of nice.
It's fine. It's a bit like boring.
Fine. You're wearing a DMX shirt.
I know.
That is kind of fun.
So today on the podcast, we're going to reveal the world's sexiest man. It's always a bit controversial when people names their most sexiest man, and I don't think
not always though. Sometimes
it is, sometimes it isn't. This year, I'm not too pleased.
Are you ever pleased?
It takes a lot to please me, but not this year. We'll talk about Michael Strahan because, my God, the biggest controversy ever surrounding him because he didn't put his hand on his heart during a national anthem.
Crazy.
And now he's having to come out and defend himself and talk about it.
Yeah, people are showing up to his house and trying to interview him about it. He was not happy.
No, he was not. And finally, we'll give you a Kate Middleton update because she's doing great and she has big news up ahead.
Can't wait to see what she's doing.
To begin with, though, John Krasinski was named People's Sexiest Man Alive. He went on Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert announced it. Stephen Colbert pretended that he was upset that he didn't get it.
Oh, great bit, Stephen.
They did a little bit. They did a little bit together. It was all cutesy. But yeah, there's a lot of different reactions coming out. Emily Blunt, his wife, was a little surprised, to be honest.
I mean, that's a classic wife thing to say, though. Cool bit. She knew.
She knew. But I mean, she's pretty sexy herself.
Oh, she's very sexy. But I mean, from The Office to Sexiest Man, I mean, it's a pretty high climb, I would say. I mean, he was kind of like the nerd goofball on The Office, no?
He's a bit Chris Pratt-ish.
Okay, I can get behind that. But the thing is, I guess that is Chris Pratt-ish, but he's like kind of like goofy, kind of goofball. But then I saw some photos of him with his shirt off, and like the dude's pretty ripped.
Yeah, there's a couple really nice photos of him that I think got him across the line.
Yo, you think it wasn't like gonna happen for him until those photos?
Yeah, I don't think you can not have a six-pack and be sexiest man alive. I think they look for a six-pack.
Well, Blake Shelton 2017, that guy only has a six-pack of beer. He has never had a six-pack.
That is very true, actually. I retract that statement. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, these days, funny wins. Like, you got to be a bit funny. There's no dry person who can win Sexiest Man Alive now. You got to have some humor.
I mean, you're always pushing for like the funny beats like hot guy.
Of course.
Yeah, that's always kind of the hill you die on.
Yeah, the skinny funny guy.
Yeah, but it's interesting though because you like look through the years, and I mean, I look at we have the list here. So like in 2012, like Channing Tatum, Adam Levine, Chris Hemsworth, The Rock. Michael B. Jordan.
I get it.
Those guys are like sexy, dude. Like you see those guys and you're like, that's the sexiest man alive. But then we get to and even Chris Evans, Paul Rudd, I don't know. That's a little weird.
He's one of the funny ones.
But like we get to last year, and I think we were on the podcast last year doing sexiest guy
alive
because we were talking about Patrick Dempsey and like how that's just not it, man. And so now they have John Krasinski. I don't know. I've always been kind of curious. So does people get in a room and how do they decide?
They run a round table.
A round table, is there like criteria that they're checking off?
Who do we think is sexy, everyone?
Yeah,
who do we think is sexy?
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, good for him. Also, if you're John, and again, I think he's a very good looking guy. Would I say sexy? I don't know if I would go. I don't know if I would go there. But it's like if they reach out to you and you don't think you're like the sexiest man alive, do you pass? Like, do you think anyone passes?
Yes, absolutely. I think they do.
I don't think you can pass.
You're not allowed to pass.
No, if people comes to you and says, "Hey, you're our sexiest man of this year," you can't turn it down. You have to accept.
You got to put on the crown.
You got to go to the photo shoot. You got to do the interview. You can't pass.
But then, wouldn't it be Ryan Gosling every year? Like, yeah, I mean, he remains.
I mean, or Michael B. Jordan, Idris Elba.
The title,
these guys are sexy. Man.
The title of the accolade should be "Sexiest Man Alive" that we can get to appear on our People magazine cover.
You say that, but like, bro, look at the Rock, Chris Hemsworth. These are the biggest stars.
Why hasn't Ryan Gosling been on the list?
Has he not? I mean, we have back to 2012.
I've got back to 1985 here.
No way.
Yes.
They were not doing it in 1985.
Mel Gibson.
Oh my God.
Mel Gibson.
That is crazy.
Nick Nolte was Sexiest Man Alive.
They've come a long
1992. Keanu Reeves won.
I can kind of get behind it. He's kind of mysterious sexy.
Johnny Depp won a couple times.
He's a sexy man.
He did. But
wow, that is hilarious. The very first one was Mel Gibson. They should have just retired the issue after 85.
Pretty crazy, huh?
That is crazy, but
I think the sexiest man, it's got to be like, what man do you most want to have sex with? I don't think, for me, I mean, I don't
Get into it. Who do you most want to have sex with?
Well, John Krasinski isn't that guy for me.
Okay. Well,
I returned to Ryan Gosling.
Okay, so we know who you want to have sex.
I would do anything with him, to be honest. Doesn't have to be sex.
I'd be down as well. But interesting thing that you do point out, though, like through all these years, so you're saying Ryan Gosling was never, he definitely has turned it down at some point.
He's turned it down every year. He must turn it down every year.
They give him a call and he's just like, not again. Not this year.
Not again.
Not this
Try again
year.
next year.
All right, we'll go with John. By the way, congratulations, John. I mean, you're a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
You can't say he's not a good-looking dude.
He's a good-looking dude. He's a good-looking dude, but, not sexy. And congratulations also to Deven Rall, Sexiest Man Alive on the podcast today.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
On the podcast, not just in the room. Because I might give it to Wild.
I might give it to our producer Wild too. Although there's a few sexy men around.
Yes, there are.
All right, let's get on with our next story. Michael Strahan, pretty sexy man.
Okay, we're off the sexy, man.
Okay. So he has been forced to apologize ad nauseum because on Sunday, he forgot to put his hand on his heart during the National Anthem. So they were all down in San Diego doing, it was Fox on Sundays on Fox.
They were celebrating Veterans Day.
Celebrating Veterans Day, with a bunch of veterans on a boat, like on one of these Navy ships.
I wouldn't say that's a boat, man. That thing's huge.
A ship.
Yeah,
Sorry,
ship.
my apologies. Yeah. Now I'm going to be cancelled.
Yeah, it's a ship.
Okay. Well, they were panning through like the fellas as they were, adhering to the National Anthem. Everyone's got their hand on their heart except Michael Strahan. And so since then, Daily Mail doorstepped the guy, waited outside his house.
I mean, the clip of that is pretty. It's not funny because I'm definitely, and I mean, you're in that line of work. Like, you don't send people to someone's home.
Never.
That's a big no-no. Like, you're definitely crossing the line, but he was not happy to see the cameraman there.
No sirree, Bob. And yeah, he made it known. And so I think kind of in response to like being heckled and ambushed and
there are people writing articles about it as well, being like, this is super disrespectful. And like people were insinuating that he was making some kind of political statement.
Exactly. Yeah. They thought it was a protest.
Yeah. Think like Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, that type thing.
I think it was just a bit too close to home for the NFL because of the Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. And now Michael Strahan obviously just forgot. Like, he 100%. Wasn't trying to make a statement. And so, yes, we have actually the sound of him.
He finally had to, say something.
He had to say something, so he took to his Instagram, and this is what he had to say.
Didn't have my hand over my chest. Everyone thought he's protesting. He's making a statement, which is so far from the truth. I'm a military brat. And so the fact of somebody saying that, I'm unpatriotic couldn't be any further from the truth. And if you want the truth, I'll tell you the truth, is that I was caught up in the moment. I'm looking at all these young sailors standing there at attention before the National Anthem played, and I'm thinking to myself, how incredible.
Are you into those sexy teeth of his?
You're just really into sexy teeth.
Yeah, I am.
Sexy.
I like the gap.
You're into the gap?
I think it's defining.
Yeah, I think he looks good. I mean, he definitely, it would definitely be unsettling if he closed it.
Yeah, I'm glad.
But I think this is a case closed on this story.
Yes.
I mean, I've obviously followed Michael Strahan's career. I know a little bit about him. His dad was in the army. His family are in the military. There's no way this guy was making any kind of political statement. And he definitely supports the troops, which he also talks about how he does a lot of stuff to benefit veterans and help people in the military. But yeah, I mean, you're not from here. I'm always a hand over heart guy, but I always. But I also thought that what he did, as long as you're attentive, like looking at the flag. He had his hands, I think, just like crossed. That's fine.
He looked a little nervous, to be honest. Like when the camera pans to the guys, everyone's standing still as a statue, hand on heart, and he's kind of like moving around. His feet are going up and down. He's swaying. His hands on his heart.
You really broke down this video.
Absolutely. It's like the Zapruder film.
Yeah.
Because I just think he was caught up in a moment. I think he was in his head about either, he's saying he was caught up because it's so amazing.
I don't know about that.
I think he was thinking about something else, basically.
Yeah, and I think he then looked over and was probably thought like, oh, my hand's not on my heart. But at this moment, it'll just look weird. So I'm just going to like stand respectful. I mean, if the guy was on his phone or something or talking to someone off camera, I get the outrage, but fake outrage.
I don't think Australia is a hand on heart.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know what you guys do for your national anthem.
You're supposed to sing it. You know what I mean? Like,
do you take your hats off? We take our hats off.
I think hats should be off.
Okay.
Not that I care about any of this etiquette. Like, if I'm wearing my hat and national anthem's on, I probably won't take it off. Like, I can't be bothered. But I don't
have some respect for your country.
But I don't think Australian really would care.
You guys just are laid back.
Yeah.
You're not uptight about these kind of things.
But also, I think you're supposed to sing it. Like, when I see Australian national anthem playing and there's one person not singing and the rest is singing, that's what I find like, dude, why aren't you singing?
Well, maybe they don't know the word.
Well, I mean, then we got a bigger problem.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people sing it here, but it's more like a under your breath type thing.
Right.
And hold a hand over heart. I mean, that's what we're taught since like grade school. I don't know. I think it's fake outrage, but he had to finally speak out.
Case closed.
Yep.
All right, on to our final story. Kate Middleton, she's hosting a Christmas carols service after beating cancer. So this has been like a big year for her, obviously. In January, she had the abdominal surgery.
Yeah.
Then in March, she came out with her cancer diagnosis. And recently, she said she's cancer-free, and now she's
amazing.
Hosting these big events. So in less than a month, start of December, she's going to do this Christmas caroling thing at their big Westminster Abbey, like the biggest church around there.
It says she's hosting. What does hosting entail?
I think this is kind of her thing. I think it's the fourth or so one she's done, and she's like, it's a TV event as well as like I think she's like just master of ceremonies, basically. But yeah, it's just a crazy full stop on the year she's had where she's back, doing her thing. And
damn, I can't believe that was earlier this year.
I know.
Because remember, I mean, we covered it ad nauseum with like, oh, where is she? What's going on with her? Is this a double? Like all the stuff that we got into and that video that went super viral. I can't believe that was this year, but obviously all the stuff came out about her cancer, and it's great to see that, it almost looks like she's fully recovered and back to her duties.
She says she's cancer-free. She beat it for all intents and purposes, which is like amazing. The theme this year, love and empathy. So,
I mean, that's good. Was this the Almost News segment, or did you guys get rid of that?
We got rid of the Almost News segment.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Almost News is now Almost News.
Oh, okay. It's just another segment.
Now
you got rid of the title.
We got rid of the title. Basically, we do 3 segments now.
This is a heartwarming story, though. I don't want to put down.
We like to end on a heartwarming story.
Yeah.
Also, in my travels researching this heartwarming story, William and his son George are like the next in line for the throne. William next after Charles.
How old are they? They're like.
Well, George is 11.
Right? Oh, he's 11.
Yeah, but when the next in line to the throne turns 12, so the same thing happened to Will. When they turn 12, they start their official preparations to be king.
What does that entail?
One of the things is they can't fly together. They can never travel together, Will and George, because they're both in line for the throne.
It's a rule that totally makes sense, but God, that would make traveling like difficult.
Whenever they go on family trips, they have to fly on separate planes, those two specifically.
That's crazy. Actually.
That's just a little fun or not fun fact that I found.
I actually kind of found that kind of fun.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now to our comments that you guys have been leaving throughout the show. Eminem.
It
says
M.M.
Oh, sorry. M.M. says Sexiest Man Alive isn't one of you two? ?
I mean, enough said.
Nice.
Honest, I wish you weren't just initials so we could see if you had like an Instagram handle. But thank you, MN.
Susie says, who are they testing for Sexiest Man Alive? Blind females?
I mean, that's kind of what you were saying.
Yeah, funny. Yeah, exactly. Got a good personality, but not much to look at.
Yeah.
We don't understand, apparently, women's taste in men, says Nicole. Jamie says Ryan is cute, not sexy. Disagree, bro.
I see. That's kind of
Ryan Gosling is cute.
Oh, she's saying Ryan. I was thinking John is cute, not sexy.
John is cute, not sexy.
Oh,
Ryan is sexy.
Ryan is like mysterious and sexy.
Oh,
that guy is not cute. That guy is sexy, but that goes for John. Cute guy.
Cute guy. Keita says the national anthem for Australia is ducking from territorial birds.
That is going above my political knowledge.
I mean, and that's yeah, me too. Actually, I think but yeah, I mean, we do have birds that swoop. You know, we have birds that swoop. Magpies.
I don't know. I've actually never heard the national anthem from Australia. Maybe during the Olympics at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys don't win very many medals. I guess
we actually do.
In the summer, I guess you win a few.
We beat you a lot at swimming, to be honest.
I don't know if that. Have you heard of Michael Phelps?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty good at what he does, but...
yeah, okay.
Have you heard of Ian Thorpe?
I haven't, actually.
The Thorpenator?
No, I haven't.
Torpedo?
I love that nickname, though. Shout out to Ian.
All right, Deven, well, thanks for joining me, man.
Yeah, it was fun to be back. Hopefully Charlie will be back tomorrow. I know you guys love hearing her angelic voice and her beauty.
Oh, she's amazing. Oh, final comment. If Deven's to win the sexiest man on the podcast, we need him to pop the hood. Show us what you're working with under the t-shirt.
I don't see that up. Dude,
yeah, I see it here.
I don't see that anywhere in the notes.
C.C says, show us what you're working with.
I can't, it's, wow, miscellaneous. It's somewhat coming up. The hood is not being popped. I'm not giving you guys ratings, and I'm a dad now, bro.
Do you have a six-pack?
Six-pack has been long gone.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, long gone.
You're pretty buff, though. You're buffest guy in the office, probably.
Dude, there's some people in IT that are buff.
The IT guys.
We have the most swole IT department in the country.
Weird.
They're like bodybuilders.
Now, that's nerdy, sexy, hot. You know what I mean? Like buff IT guys, like buff nerds. That's sexy.
That is kind of sexy.
Yeah, they got everything.
They can lift, they can protect you, and they can fix your computer.
Right, perfect. Okay, Deven, thank you, mate.
Yep, thank you. It was fun.
And we'll see you guys here tomorrow. Goodbye.